Could go there. Hey, how is everyone doing? I'm gonna get a little centered here. Ah, how is everyone doing tonight? I I've had a pretty interesting day. I've had a really interesting day, and I'm gonna get into this. I'm gonna wait a little bit. When I wait for some people to get here, because I'm so close, people. I am so close when it comes to Raymond B. Raymond B, what up? T-Bone coming in. Iggy T. See, I want all the regulars to come in because the regulars, when I mean regulars, I'm not talking about you guys being marks or anything. No, I really do. That's why I call you guys supporters. That's why I call you supporters, because without you, I would absolutely be nothing. And I just wanted to just start off the show. Okay. So I've got everything now. I've got my computer rocking and rolling right now. I do. Here, hold on. Let me give you a little bit. It's a little bit of a mess. It's a little bit of a mess tonight, guys. But look. I got my dual screen running with my show prep. I got everything going. I'm going to be getting the curtain rods up where I can put a little bit of a backdrop behind me. Cut off some of the echo off of the flat walls and the flooring. It's gonna be good. I'm just missing one little piece. There is this board. There's this board that I'm wanting to get, and I've almost gotten there. It's gonna be a board. I'll be able to hook up a couple of mics. I'll be able to control the audio when I'm doing interviews and stuff. What up, Fish on Jay? I'll be able to take live phone calls like it is a radio show. I'm going to be able to load up my audio clips. I'll be able to do audio clips. Oh, see. That's the thing about it. Hold on, watch this. Once I get that board that I was talking about, because the board that I got, it's going to be XLR to a Omni one directional microphone. Yes, Fish on J. Fish on J. I mean, if you're in there right now, and Vulture, if you're in the chat room right now, if you guys could post a link to it, it's the Podcaster Pro from Rode, RODE. And I found a refurbished one, and I've been saving my money. I've been telling you guys this. All the money that you guys donate is going to go to making this. So once I get that board, this is what's going to end up happening, okay? It's going to be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's going to be a live show. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. David Hernandez passed away? That is such a bummer. I don't know if I ever got a chance to meet him, but his name sounds so familiar from all the Twitch chats and social media and stuff. Oh, Fish on Jade, I'm going to have to give you a call. But back to what I was saying, I'm going to be doing those live streams from 8 to 10 Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And people are like, "Oh, that's a weird schedule." No. Because if you listen to the audio podcast that I do, that it's a day ahead. So what I'm going to do is do the 8 to 10, and then I'm going to take the audio. See, that's the other thing about this board. Whenever I'm recording, I think he did. David Hernandez did. Yeah, I know that I knew him from Bubba, but man, that's really, really bad. If anybody can, you know what? See, now I kind of feel kind of bad about asking for money to be able to get some stuff. But like, if anybody knows like how to get a hold of David Hernandez, can you guys like email me his info, because I would like to. Because now that I'm thinking about it, David Hernandez did used to come in here. And if David Hernandez, it's not because he used to come in here and support what I'm doing. It's just that I would like to do something nice. Maybe we could like send some flowers or something to the family. Do whatever we can. I don't know. It would actually be kind of nice. I know like me, myself, and what I'm doing is going to be on such a on a lower scale, but I would like to do something. Fish on Jay, if you can find out any of that info, matter of fact, I'll give you a call as soon as I get done with the show. And now I don't even want to talk about getting the board and so, but what that is my plan. So it's going to be Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 8 to 10. It's going to be 8 to 10. And then that show is going to be broadcast to the next day, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Tomorrow's Tuttle Daily podcast is already available right now, and it was kind of interesting. You know how I've always talked about doing some. I've been talking about how it would be great to do some news, like news stories, being a journalist, and I kind of was, because my good friend Amy Sinha, she got approached because she is a musician. She's a vocalist. She is a pretty good jazz musician, a jazz singer. And she got approached by somebody and was like, hey, I want you to write a birthday song, a personalized birthday song to my son. And a lot of the stuff that was happening just did not add up. Like, it was supposed to be $500 and $300 up front, $200 when the song was done. And then, like, the guy went to pay the $300 and then said, oh, we accidentally sent you $3,000 through an e-check. Just cash it. Then send us back the rest. So $3,000. So you would have been sending $2,500 back. And at first I was like, oh, how the hell could this ever happen? But I found a bunch of other news stories and video, like major news networks, that actually this has happened to some of these musicians. And I really feel bad for them. But Amy luckily, like, caught it. She caught it because it was the same exact words, the same thing because it was a local musician in Nashville. She got caught up in this. She lost $2,500, and it just sucks. It does, and that's kind of why people do not trust. We just don't trust people now, because we've all gotten burned. We've all gotten burned. My dad always used to say that if I'm going to give a friend money, I'm just assuming that I'm not going to get it back. And I even hate loaning money to friends. I mean, there's only one person, like Colton. He's never borrowed money from me. I've borrowed money from him, and I've paid him back every single time. He's put a lot of trust in me, but I know that he doesn't do that for a lot of people. So I know that we're just not trusting as people. So that is on, and it is available now. Tuttle Daily Podcast. It's available on all podcasting platforms. I want to show you guys something. Look at this. Look at this, and just look at the leather. I'm going to try to get it as close to the camera as I can for you. My producer, Vulture, brought this to me. Matter of fact, I got it from the other day. And I'm being very, very delicate with this. Like, I even feel bad that I'm touching it with bare hands. You know what this looks like? This looks like from the third Indiana Jones movie, Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. You know, the book that Sean Connery sent out This is exactly what it looks like, okay? Now, I do not know how many generations back, but this little beauty here is a diary. It is a diary from a woman. And by the way, look, this is 1 year. This is 1 year of a diary. Do I want to see here? I'm going to show you guys the writing. Look at the writing on this right now. Well, you probably already saw the date, so I don't know why. You know what? This diary is from 1929. This is a year of a woman's life. I don't know. It could be longer. No, no, no. It's way longer. All right. So this diary goes from 1929 to it's 11 years. It goes into the 40s. And this is a diary. It is a relative of my producer Vulture, and I got to do a little bit more research. But I also like. I don't think me as a male could a male a man could do this justice. And I was talking about Amy earlier, and I would love for her to read some pages because I would love to get a little bit of just distance, a little bit of traction on this because Vulture, the way that he explained it to me is look, okay, back in the day, especially in the early 20s, if you were a woman and you were not married, for about 10 years because she was never married. That is strange for back in those times. Now, Vulture did give me a little bit of a background on his. It's got to be an aunt. Matter of fact, I gotta see a name. Oh, her name is Ruth. And I want some women to read this because this is also the other thing. Look, I know cursive. I know how to read cursive and stuff. But guys, and I'm about to put this down because I want to be careful. You know what? I'm just going to show you it because I don't want to bend over or bend any of the pages. So I'm going to show you some of the cursive writing on this. All right, I'm gonna stop like manhandling that. Oh, by the way, when I get the new studio, I'm not gonna have to hold the microphone. I've already ordered a mic, a mic boom, so I'm not gonna have to be able to hold my microphone anymore. But if there are any ladies out there that would like to, because did you see how fancy that cursive writing was? Like I can't tell you the last time that I actually had to read cursive or the last time that I had to even write it. Might have been ninth, maybe even 10th grade was the last time that I even had to read any cursive. And that is some fancy ass cursive. I don't want to sound like a slackjaw, redneck, white trash piece of crap when I say that. Man, that's some fancy cursive. No, I'm just saying there's a difference between people that write cursive all the time and then just people that just casually write it. Like doctors. Why do doctors have to be the biggest dicks when it comes to writing their signature? It's like you're just trying to make it easier as a doctor when you're signing a prescription for people to forge it. Because these pharmacists are not going to be like, oh man, that's Dr. Dick's signature right there. No, because it's like graffiti every single time. Oh, here, this is the other thing. I know that I said I was going to pick this up again, but look, hold on. also in this diary, hold on, are like little cards and stuff that was saved. And back to her never being married, there was rumors in the family that she was lesbian. I don't know why I whispered that. I've never understood why broadcasters do that. And I just did the worst thing. I whispered into the microphone. Matter of fact, when you whisper into the microphone, it actually is a lot clearer. So it doesn't make any sense for you to do that. But yeah, there are a lot of rumors in the family that Ruth was lesbian. She was a lesbian. See, I just want to open up the YouTube thing here because I've only got 6 people in here, and you guys either think that this is the most boring crap in the world, or I don't know. Just check in. Let me know that you guys are still there, please. At least, will you at least do that? Just be like, hey, we're here. So, what I would like is if there's any women, because I'm going to get Amy to do it. I'm going to get Amy to read some of that. And if you as a lady listener of the Tuttle Daily Podcast want to do it, you can be anonymous. You can. I think it's Cook. Well, what do you mean, Iggy T? Did everybody get all pissed because I skipped a look? I was just trying to do an entertaining show, and I feel bad that he passed away and stuff. But I mean, I got to do a show there, so hopefully you guys aren't like getting mad at me or anything. Got 6 people watching. Now I can actually look at myself and see how absolutely horrible that I look. I wonder how much of a delay. Yeah, I'm on a little bit. Man, I got to turn that off. See, that's the thing about it. Like, I can see that. I got to close. I got to pull that down. I can't look at myself while doing the show. All right, so, guys, Iggy T, hold on. Before you go anywhere, Iggy T, do you, in Canada, do they ban any books? Have there been any books? Because I don't want to ask you, oh, by the way, I'll wait till Iggy T. My producer, Vulture, speaking of Canada, someone said no, I'm not ducking Tampa Terry, okay? Tampa Terry can swing from my nuts. He knows how to get a hold of me. Matter of fact, I think Tampa Terry has my phone number. So call me Tampa Terry. Tired of answering all these questions. I'm not dodging a goddamn thing. So, Tampa Terry, get a hold of me. But I want to get. Do you guys ever remember any books being banned? Oh, you did? Ian Hanna. By the way, Ian Hanna, let me get this out here. Ian Hanna, I got to thank you. You know, you saved my mom a lot of money. You know, I talk about Ian Hanna all the time. Ian actually gave my mom a lot of tricks, tips, because, you know, she had never bought a home before. She never bought a home before because my dad did all that. And it wasn't because my dad was chauvinistic. It was just, that's the way it was. It's just the way it was. The men signed all the houses. They made all the deals. They spit in their hand and shook the real estate agent and the homeowner's hand and was like, it's a deal. But that's it. It's all changed now. And Ian Hanna, if you're in the market to buy or sell a home in the Flagler, Volusia, Brevard area, and even if you're not, you know somebody, maybe you got a relative, a brother or sister-in-law, but like, yeah, well, you know, I listen to this podcast. I listen to the Total Daily Podcast, and guess what? I hear him talking about this really cool dude, Ian Hanna. Ian Hanna, he was able to get Tuttle's mom a great deal because, you know, she never got to buy a home because that was man's business. And Ian was like, you know what? I support women's rights. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to help. I'm going to help Mrs. Fowler buy this home. Not that because Tuttle's dad was a chauvinistic guy. No, that's not the case. Ian is a feminist, and Ian helped out my mom. So like I said, if you're in the market to buy or sell a home, Flagler, Volusia, Brevard area, go to ianhannahomes.com. You know what? I just knocked that live read right out of the mother effing park. I did. I know, like, look, I was gonna mention Ian. I was gonna get to it because I was gonna do a little bit of a longer live stream, but I saw Ian come in and I was like, you know what? Boom, got to jump into it, improv style. Second City. Oh, Ian, I didn't mean it that way. I was just saying. I was just trying to, service you, Ian, because you're such a great supporter of the Tuttle Daily Podcast. IanHannaHomes.com. All right. Yes. Oh, yeah. Fish on J. Fish on J actually sold the house, too. I mean, Ian did a great job on that, didn't he? I think he did. Anyways, gonna move on. And scene. Exactly. But they're banning a lot of books in Texas. They are. Like, I understand. Thank you, Raymond B. I understand where some people, parents might not want their kids to read a certain book because it's about religion. I don't think religious books should have any place in any school, elementary, high school, middle school. But if you can, Ian Hanna, $20, yeah, I just worked there like a good hoe. I earned that $20, Ian. No, I'm joking, guys. But if there's a book that is making a kid read, I don't care, any kid, how can that book be bad? Now, unless it's like a neo-Nazi book that was teaching hate, or teaching religion, yeah, it's got to go. But if it's a book that's trying to best servicing area, if it's a book that's helping kids want to learn to read or get better at their vocabulary, because no matter what you want to say, the more you read, the better your vocabulary is. But they're getting rid of books now that have transgender characters or characters. I don't think they're particularly pushing an agenda on it, but it's just some of the topics. Look, I'll admit to you, in no way should you let your kid. Didn't want my son reading Hustler, but guess what? We did. We did it as a kid. That was a great thing about my dad. My dad did not like the Playboy. Or, Penthouse did get nasty back in the day. They did a lot of ping shots back in the day on Penthouse. Hustler just did not care. Larry Flint was like, let it eat. Let it eat. We'll put anything on there. But my dad, he had Cherry. He had like all of them. He had all the nasty ones. He did. Playboy did, yeah. They had good articles, yeah. I guess so. I get you. But think about the books. I am a Gen Xer. I'm a Gen Xer. I was the last year of Generation X. We like starting out in middle school or elementary school. We just started getting computers in elementary school. But we still were out. We were out all day playing, getting dirty, doing all that stuff, okay? But there were books that we read. Think about this. Catcher in the Rye. Catcher in the Rye. Whew. I don't know if you guys can hear that train. Man, that train. But did any of you guys watch have to read Catcher in the Rye? Catcher in the Rye was a filthy ass book. Not in a bad way, but they had a lot of curse words in there. They did. The book Catcher in the Rye If that didn't get banned, then I really do not understand what books should be banned or not banned. What about, okay, this is one that everybody knows. This is one that everybody knows. Huckleberry Finn. I'm not going to say it. Not going to say it. And I don't know, like, if I can get in trouble for what you guys say in the comments. But, I mean, do you guys all remember what Huckleberry Finn's friend was? Yeah, it was. Ian, you're absolutely right. It was. And it was a great book. It was ahead of its time. No, Huckleberry Finn's friend was not Mark David Chapman. It it was a derogatory. Yes, Jim. Yes, it was. But Ian, I don't want you. But there was a prefix. There was a prefix before Jim. Was there or was there not? I don't know. I remember reading that in the books. How was that allowed? If you look at the books that are being wanting to be banned, it is the ultra conservative religious right. They're the ones. They don't want any characters. They don't want gay characters. They don't want transgender characters. They don't want anything out there like that. Ian, you read the Cliff Notes my ass. You're too smart. But what I'm trying to say, are you guys seeing a little bit of a trend here? I'm not trying to be political. I'm not. I hate all politicians, the Democrats, Republicans. I hate them all. None of them have our best interests. Joe Biden is just crapping the bed. I mean, he really didn't have a high bar to live up to, but man, he has not done a great job. I mean, our previous president didn't do a great job. It's not about us anymore. It's not. But if you notice, the books that are all getting banned, the books that are getting banned are in Texas, yes, conservatives, religious people. I don't even know if you can. Is Catcher in the Rye there? If I'm just being honest, To Kill a Mockingbird. To Kill a Mockingbird was a very, very it was an out there book for its time, but guess what? That was about racism. That was about the black man not getting a fair trial. We're talking about Huckleberry Finn, racist. There's racist stuff and Catcher in the Rye, a lot of curse words. And guess what? The religious right, they didn't have a problem about that. And it is, Ian. It really is. But I find it disgusting that we're willing to get rid of. Yeah, I mean, it's looking like Trump, but you know what? Though the Republican Party, they're going to cannibalize themselves. It is, Ian. And that's the thing about it is that the Republican Party, they're going to cannibalize themselves because, Trump's definitely going to run again. But then you got Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis was like Trump Jr., and now it seems like Ron DeSantis is more popular than Trump. So look out. It's going to be interesting. It definitely is going to be interesting. And I just don't see, there's no way Joe Biden's going to win a second term. Joe Biden just needs to, somebody needs to tap him on the shoulder and just be like, hey, yeah, this whole presidency thing you've been doing, it's just not working out. It's just not working out. We need to go from somewhere else. No, it's not. Yeah, it's still going to shake the ass. I mean, you got to make that money. It's all about that GTA. But yeah, that is really, really interesting. There was another story here that I wanted to talk about. Oh, all right. So I know a lot of you guys probably might not be into sports that much. And when I first saw this come out, all right, so, all right, before I get into the next story, don't forget, if you want to donate some money, Ian Hanna did that. Ian threw me a 20. Isn't that Andrew Jackson? I think he got 20. I don't see a lot of 20s. No time's up. I'm doing it. I'm keeping going. Bob D. Bob D, am I doing a bad job? I mean, if you want me to stop, I will. But when I first saw this story, I was like, oh, this is BS. This is a guy that, because when you get fired and you want to like call your coworkers or your former employer crazy and you want to make accusations, you always look like the crazy one. You always look like the crazy one when you go after it. And I have been so guilty of this out of all the other radio shows and stuff that I've worked for and I've gotten fired from. And if I say anything bad or against them, I get that's just how it works in entertainment. That's how it works in broadcasting in general. So when I first saw this about Brian Flores, the former head coach of the Miami Dolphins, been there for 3 years. I don't think he got them to the playoffs. That might have been the coach before him. But I really liked Brian Flores. He was able to, the last 2 years, just miss out on the playoffs. The year before Brian Flores, he was one. I think the Miami Dolphins might have been the first team. Okay, all right. So you're right. I agree with Ian. But Brian Flores, I think the Miami Dolphins were one of the first teams to win a certain amount of games and not make the playoffs. This year, I think they lost 6 or 7 straight games, and then they won 7 straight games, still finished over 500, but did not make it to the NFL, or the NFL playoffs. He, once he got fired, tried out for the New York Giants job. And then Bill Belichick ended up accidentally texting Brian Flores about, hey, congratulations on the job, but he was supposed to text another Brian. And then, get this, because this was like before, like he had just got done. So what these texts from Bill Belichick showed that they interviewed Brian Flores just because of the Rooney Rule. If you don't know what the Rooney Rule is, you got to at least interview one African American or a minority coach. But they had already hired the white guy. And Brian Flores, they told him no. But Bill Belichick had accidentally texted him. Now, this is the next thing that I think is absolutely just sickening. And there's some other coaches that have come out where the owners have said they have done the same exact thing. Brian Flores said that the owner of the Miami Dolphins, Stephen Ross, not last year, but the year before, they wanted some good draft picks. Stephen Ross was like, you're right, Ian. Like I really never thought that Belichick would be a texting type guy. But Stephen Ross was offering Brian Flores. Not yet. Hey, Brandon, here. If you guys want me to be able to take live phone calls, donate to the cause. You can super chat here or go to my PayPal account, paypal.me/Tuttle on the radio. Donate whatever you can, because once I get that board, I will be able to take live phone calls. You'll be able to call me from your cellular phone or home phone. You'll be able to do that, and it's going to sound amazing. It's going to sound like a real radio show. I promise you. You know, I could have done it from the computer tonight, And I'm not going to be able to do that because until I get that board and I'm able to take the phone calls from you guys, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to talk about Brady retiring. Kyrox, man, I need to get on your live stream, man, because you're blowing up. So let me get back to the story, though. Stephen Ross. It was talked about now that Stephen Ross was going to pay Brian Flores. Yes, I do have a laptop. Yes, I would love to start a network. Ian, I'll get with you. I'll definitely get with you. But Stephen Ross offered Brian Flores $100,000 for every game he lost. That's not cool. And guess what? There's another coach. I think it might have been for the Bengals or the Cleveland Browns, said the same thing. His white owner told him $100,000 to lose a game. Yes, Kyrox. Dude, email me. I hate handling business during live stream. Email me your phone number. I'm going to give you a call tomorrow. But the thing that is really, really bugging me here is that are these owners that know that their teams are in a rebuilding process, that they're going to hire African American coaches. And it's not going to be a big deal. We're going to, these African American coaches are going to be sacrificial lambs. And we're going to offer them. We're going to offer them $100,000 a game to lose. And, I know it's a different sport. So you're telling me it's okay for an owner of the biggest sports franchise to offer a coach $100,000 a game to lose? And then in Major League Baseball, Pete Rose, who gambled on baseball, never bet against his own team. He's not allowed in the Hall of Fame, but it's okay for an owner of an NFL team, and there was a couple of cases of this. Yes, we did hear about David Hernandez. We talked about that at the beginning of the show, and I'm going to try to do something. But, don't you think that this is, a little troublesome? That they're offering to pay black coaches because the other coach that came out, it's $100,000, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, "Oh, this is just the." Yeah, it is. It is. Look it up. Search Brian Flores, and there's another African American coach that has been told and has come out to support and kind of confirm that this is what's going on in the NFL, and I think it's bad. It really is. And maybe the NFL is just way too big. Maybe they're too big to fail. Maybe the NFL, they can do this type of stuff, and people just love the sport so much that it's not going to make a difference. And if that's the way it is, it sucks. But guess what? Life isn't fair. It just isn't. I agree with you, Ian. They're just too big to fail. Not with all the money that's going to the Super Bowl when it comes to commercials. Yes, of course. It is too big to fail. It is. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. If you get a chance, if you could donate anything, if you don't want to do it here to my YouTube channel, you can easily do it. PayPal.me/Tuttle on the radio. Even if it's $1, because once I get that board in there, because I only need $150 more to be able to get it. And then once it's game over. Man, these, nobody's doing nighttime talk radio anymore. They're just not doing it. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring back nighttime talk radio, and it's going to be available the next day for audio download. I think it's going to be a winning combination. Ian Hanna, thank you, Ian, coming in with $10. IanHannaHomes.com if you're in the market to buy or sell a home. Flagler, Volusia, Brevard areas. Anyways, guys, I'm out of here. Make sure you download the Total Daily Podcast, available on iTunes, Spotify, Amazon, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, 315live.com. I'm out of here.